Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an unhauling video. I just posted a haul, and every time I get some new books, I like to go through and get rid of some other books, especially because like this is really all we have for bookshelf space in our apartment, so it's better to just kind of like keep it small and keep it with stuff we're actually going to read. Some of the books are things I have read, but I'm not going to reread. Some are things that have been sitting on the shelf for years and it's never going to happen. So I'm going to start with the nonfiction biography kind of area. So first up in nonfiction, I have Staying Strong by Demi Lovato, which read this book, got it in, God, what year, 2012 or whatever year this came out. Great, love Demi Lovato, but I just feel like they are a completely different person than this, and it feels weird to be holding on to a book that represents more of a troubled time in the life of someone I'm a fan of. It's just a little odd, but yeah. Great book for 10 years ago. This is I Could Pee on This, which is like a book I got as a gift. That was like kind of a joke because it's just like silly little poems about cats written by a cat, you know, one of those kind of things. I went through the poems, laughed about the ones that reminded me of my cat. What else is there to do? Next is Miles to Go by Miley Cyrus, which is basically her autobiography. I think she wrote this probably in 2009 or 10 when she was like 18. So she's a bit different now. And just kind of like the Demi book, it just feels weird to be holding on to this. I also have read it, I think, more than once, and I'm not like a huge fan of her anymore. Like, I mean, she hasn't done anything wrong, she's great, but I just don't really care about her as like a person anymore. The last nonfiction is the Hamilton biography, which I think I bought in 2016 when we were all crazy about Hamilton. Probably read about 4 pages and was like, yeah, no. And I have, not nonfiction, obviously, Little Women. Just kind of a crappy, worn out edition. Honestly, might end up like throwing this instead of donating it or whatever, just because I feel like it's got like water damage and I don't know if someone would want this. But yeah, we own a better, prettier copy, like a collector's edition kind of hardback, so what's the point of keeping this? Got a couple kind of young adult books. The Princess Diaries, Lost Its Dust Jacket. This is my partner's book that she's had since it came out, and it's like, not gonna reread the Princess Diaries. We were both kind of like, why do we still have this? So yeah, some other 12-year-old will like this book. Dust jacket lists and all. Also getting rid of Sadie by Courtney Summers, which I loved. I actually listened to this as an audiobook, which I thought was really cool because it's like, it's got the podcast element and the true crime of it all, but like you can't really reread mysteries and thrillers. Like I know what happens, or you know, I know how it ends. And I feel like if I was like, oh my God, I want to re-experience that, I would listen to the audiobook again because it was just such a cool thing. Then I have Girls in the Moon by Janet McNally. I've actually never read this, never will. I think I got it in like a book of the month thing. I don't even know what it's about. I think it's about like a musician. No clue. Not gonna be reading it. Got a little adult fantasy, I guess. First, the Game of Thrones books. I have Game of Thrones. Which one's next? Clash of Kings, is that one next? Storm of Swords, Feast for Crows, 4 out of 5 of the ones we have. I think I have the other one, but it's at my parents' house because it was like a bigger book and I could not have that. But yeah, I've read these all. I think I actually read Feast for Crows, 4th one on Kindle or something. But yeah, so I'm not gonna reread them, taking up shelf space. Battery's gonna die. Okay, so my battery died, so everything might look different. I have no idea. If I set it up exactly the same, I probably look different because I messed up my hair, whatever. But yeah, I just finished talking about the Game of Thrones books. Goodbye. Someone else will love them. Maybe someday we'll get a 6th book. Not looking good. Next, I have another fantasy series. It's this. It is the Pendragon Cycle by Stephen R. Lawhead. It's like, I bought 5 books in this series at once. I assume I had like a gift card and with like, and they were on sale. I don't know what I was doing. I love King Arthur. I love King Arthur retellings. I love all of that kind of stuff. So I guess I was just really, really excited about it and bought 5 books that I've literally, I think I read maybe like half a chapter of the first book. And I think I bought these like 6 years ago and just been holding on to them ever since, under some delusion that I actually read them, and I'm not gonna. And I have to accept that about myself and give them to someone who actually will enjoy them. I'm so sorry, Stephen. Next one is this copy of The Alchemist, which is absolutely beautiful, but I actually already have one that is my first ever copy. I'm sure there are like folded down corners and torn bits, and you can see that it's all yellow, and I just love that. It's my favorite book, and I want to keep the original copy that I had. This one is amazing. And I also have like a really nice collector's edition hard copy that I don't feel like I'd ever actually pick up and read. It's just kind of like a display copy. And this one kind of falls somewhere in between. There's like a special, I think it's the 25th anniversary edition. There's a special introduction, which I read. There's some drawings, like little illustrations and stuff, which is cool. But I don't want to ruin it. And I'd rather, it's my favorite book. And I love the idea of someone at a used bookstore seeing this and being like, oh my God, this book is beautiful and I want it. And then just spread the alchemist's joy. I also have The Accidental Empress by Alison Pataki. It's a historical fiction about the Austro-Hungarian Empress Elizabeth, who was married to like the last emperor of Austria-Hungary. I've been obsessed with her since I read the Royal Diaries book about her when I was, God, probably 12. And then I did like a book report on her, all that stuff. Love her. But I'm very picky with stories about her because of that. And I've actually been watching The Empress on Netflix, and I'd rather read that book because it seems a little more historically accurate. This feels a little fluffy, so sorry. My battery's about to die, so I'm gonna try and wrap this up quickly. Last book, Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. This is basically like a mystery, horror, thriller, sapphic, dual timelines, historical. It's like one of the timelines is like flashbacks to like the early 1900s at this all-girls prep school in Rhode Island, and then like all the creepy things that happen there with a sapphic love story. And then the current timeline is like these 3 girls who are like making like a movie kind of about that time. I wanted to love it. Yeah, I loved her other book, The Miseducation of Cameron Post. Love a good sapphic book. And I actually really loved the modern timeline, but the flashbacks like weren't hitting. They were just, they felt like a little like, if The Haunting of Bly Manor was boring. Yeah, I literally was like, and it's so massive. So yeah, I read it, hated it. It was probably like maybe a 3 stars, and the last star is just for how cool I think the girls in modern day are. And then my girlfriend read it and hated it, I think even more than me. Yeah, we don't want to, I don't ever want to see it again. I just am mad that I read 400 pages of this and was incredibly disappointed by every aspect of it. But it would make a great show. So, come on, Netflix. Yeah, so that's my first UNHAUL. I do them probably every 6 months to a year, depending on how many new books I buy and how many books I read, because I don't want to keep getting more and more bookshelves, and we're getting to that point where it's like, so yeah, so got rid of probably 20 books. I'm gonna donate some of them to my local library, probably sell some of them to some local used bookstores, and then buy more books, because I'm problematic, but we're all problematic here. We can't stop buying books, and that's why we're here. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and like, subscribe, comment. I'd love to talk about what you think of any of these books, and if you think they should have been unhauled, or if I made a terrible mistake. And yeah, thanks so much.